Yo, what's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world. Talk about the team that the world loves to hate. Your Las Vegas Raiders. All righty, everybody. We're here. First team looked good. First team offense looked good. First team defense was okay. The first team defense, most of the first team got put in a bad situation because of a turnover. We're going to get to all that. We're going to get to all this stuff. Don't worry. For those of you who stuck around for the watch party, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. I think we all had a good time. We all had a good fun. It was great. We had a good conversations. It's a fun thing for you to just if it's like you're hanging out with your boys. I have a lot of friends that aren't Raider fans, and it's like I can't really talk to them about the Raiders because they're like, the Raiders suck. The Raiders suck. That's all they say. So it's good to hop on. Join the Shield Society. It's only $4.99 a month. You get access to the watch parties for every regular season game. All the ones for the preseason, those freebies. The regular season, those got to be for the Shield Society members only. So glad you guys are here. If you guys were on there, go ahead and roll call up. Let me know you guys are here. Really appreciate you guys. Unfortunately, the bad guys lose. Raiders 10, the Cardinals 20. Preseason game number 3. I don't know what's going on with my thing here. It's not showing preseason game number 3. Save. Show it. Bam, there we are. All right. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. It's the next way to support. It's free to do. And I would really appreciate it when people who are subscribed to the channel watch the videos that I show. It really helps out a lot. Also, we have the Shield Society. We already talked about that. Let's get to the game. So, bad guys lose 20-10 to the Cardinals. Offensive stats were actually pretty close. The issue that we're going to see here is we had the turnover really deep in our territory that gave them a short field. And they had a long run on a very poor angle by Sam Webb, 68, I believe it was 67-yard touchdown run. Brutal, total brutality. Let's take a look at the stats here. Team stats first, as we always do. First downs, we actually got 17 first downs to the Cardinals 12. Third down efficiency, we were 4 for 14. They were 4 for 14. We're 1 for 2. On fourth down, they were 1 for 1 on fourth down. Total plays, 67 for us, 53 for them. We had the ball more, man. Total yards, 241 us, 269 them. I mean, time of possession was pretty even. 30 minutes and 7 seconds for us, 29 minutes, 53 seconds for them. Penalties is a big thing. We had 9 penalties for 77 yards. Can't have that. They had 4 penalties for 46 yards. It was not good, man. Not good at all. They had 210 rushing yards. Oof, good Lord. 68 of them were on one rush. It was tough. 2 missed plays gave them, most of their yardage. They had 2 long runs, and it was just one guy was out of position, and it was against the backups. It's not the first team. So let's just all calm down and put this where it actually belongs. Here's the deal, brothers. To quote the immortal Hulk Hogan, rest in peace. The first team didn't look bad. The first team actually looked pretty good. The last 4 possessions that Geno Smith led the first team, they had points. I like it. Looks good. We're over here and we're handling business as the first team offenses. One thing that we got to focus on here is, if you put all the backups together, they're not all going to look great, especially when you've had some rough drafts the last few years. But if you put some of these guys in with the starters and mix them in here and there, they may look a lot better. So I'm not going to trip too much on this. I think our first team offense, when it was out there, looked really, really good. So I want to focus on that. Individual stats. Clayton Tune was out there the entire game. Clayton Tune was like, oh, Clayton Tune this, Clayton Tune that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, great. He had 83 yards. 83 yards for Clayton Tune. for an entire game. Geno Smith was 2 for 3 with a touchdown. Aidan O'Connell was 3 for 4 with a fumble. Cam Miller was 12 for 24 for 102 yards with just the leakiest of offensive lines in front of him. He played better than he did in the previous game against the Niners. Still didn't play great. I would like to have seen Cam Miller play a little bit with the first team offense, at least some of the offensive line starters out there. Some of the guys. He only played it with the scrubs, and it showed. The offensive line was not good. Zamir White had a nice game. 9 carries, 42 yards. Raheem Mostert as well. 9 carries, 32 yards. Sim McCormick, 4 carries for 10. Lauby, 4 for 7. Not good. Ashton, 2 for 5. Whatever. Doesn't matter. He's still going to be our starter. Now, there's some breaking news out there. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Aidan O'Connell broke his wrist. I believe it was on the sack, his last play. He broke his wrist, and on the fumble, he's out 6 to 8 weeks, according to Pete Carroll. We're going to get to Pete Carroll's press conference and what he talked about. Basically, he echoed a lot of the same things that I talked about. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, we're gonna win 3 games and we're terrible and this and that." Well, yeah, if we put our third stringers out there, we don't look very good. But you guys forget, in the first quarter, the first couple drives, we scored 10 points. The offense looked pretty good. Okay, we're gonna get to the press conference of Pete Carroll. Turn your volume up. There was some volume issues with the press conference. So turn your volume all the way up. All right, here we go. Pete Carroll press conference.
You have to be thrilled with the opening of your offense and defense, how they started the game.
Yeah, all 3 games they've started really well. They've done everything we could have asked of them. A couple turnovers we take away, in the first 2 games with the first group, and then really played the running game last week and this week. Overwhelming, attack on the edges and stuff. Maxx was on fire. Really thrilled about what we've seen. I mean, we really couldn't ask for a whole lot more. We almost scored every time we had the ball. I don't know if we might have stopped us once. Did they stop the offense one time in the preseason? Maybe. So it's nothing but really good positives. The other side of it, as we sent the rest of our guys out there, we really couldn't quite get the wins, But I was really kind of hoping that we'd go right down and be tied right at the end, and somebody'd have a chance to win on the last play. Since that's every other game was like that, that'd be fun to see if we can pull that off. But they make a big play and change the game. I was really fired up for Dante, the catch that he makes. It's a beautiful throw, beautiful catch, great body control. Taps his way in for the touchdown. It's a good play for him to, put in his back pocket. Just to make something happen and all that. We saw Ashton just get after it again physically. He's tough, man, and we were not able to see that in our practices because, we never really hit anybody like that. And to see him have that aspect of his game with all the elusive that he has again, that was encouraging. I think the offensive line did a nice job, when they had their chance, the first group, and we got them out of there. But Colton's really been the leader of that group, and they're doing a nice job.
Going back to the Dante, Geno, you've been practicing that a lot, working on it a lot. Could it have played out any better? Because that was almost the exact what you guys have been trying to practice.
Really
that type of throw.
We've been working right at that, and to see if he could use that length and the height that he has and all that. And think about Geno staying with him, and really knowing that he needs to be part of this team, and we need to make that guy a threat. And G's been really working to develop him, and so that was a good culmination for them.
What does that do for Dante's confidence? Because he's been talking all camp long about he can do more than just run fast and run down the field, but to able to run.
No, that's what we're building. I think it should definitely help his confidence, and I'm hoping that we'll see benefits from that. He's not been down in the dumps at all. He's been working really hard. He's run more yards and covered more ground than anybody on our team because we continue to try to develop the downfield stuff with him. And it's a great compliment to Jacoby and what Brock does and what Trey does as well. So we have a chance to have a really nice throwing game.
Zamir, has really had a good camp and continues to do well. He ran hard tonight. Would you talk about what you saw from
Yeah,
the field?
that was part of the plan. Really wanted to get him the ball and just let him pound away and just show what he's been doing, and he got 1 carry last week. I think he had a lot of plays, but he didn't get but 1. So we tried to get him 8 carries tonight. I think it was pretty close to that. We're really counting on him, to be that physical presence and a change-up guy for us. I've always loved that, so I think he showed that tonight. I thought Raheem ran the ball really well too. He looked explosive and tough up inside too.
You mentioned Maxx on fire tonight, but Adam Butler comes up with a batted ball. Tyree had a couple pressures in run game, and then Malcolm with a sack. Is that?
Yeah,
that
really,
come along for you guys?
really important for us. For all the guys that you just mentioned, all of those guys, we're counting on those guys to be active and contributors and playmakers. To see that happen tonight, and really just a short span of time that they're in the game, that was pretty special.
O'Connell's wrist injury, is that just precautionary, or do you think something serious?
No, he fractured his wrist. He's hurt, and it's going to be a while.
There was.
Fixed. So that's a big blow for us.
How's that change? Obviously, quarterback right now. I mean,
We got 2 instead of 3.
Yeah.
It's going to be 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. So he's going to be out a while. So we just got to see what we can do and keep developing Cam, and unfortunately he got a lot of play time tonight, and that'll help him.
I was about to say, do you think Cam's ready for that number 2 spot?
We'll see. Let's see what happens here. I've got to check the film.
that's good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, Russell, you have any questions back there?
I got a lot of questions.
All right. Well, we ended it right there at the very end. He said that Aidan O'Connell fractured his wrist. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. And we have 2 quarterbacks instead of 3. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's a big time bummer. And look, regardless if Aidan O'Connell was playing or if he wasn't, if Geno Smith gets hurt, we're in trouble regardless of who's out there. All right. So I don't want to make it think like, oh, wow, the sky is falling because Aidan O'Connell gets hurt. The plan wasn't for him to play anyway. If he's out there, it was going to be rough for us regardless. But, we get some more snaps, second team instead of third team for Cam Miller. He'll learn a little bit more, learn a little bit quicker, get thrown into the fire a little bit more. Who knows? We might have something with the guy a little bit sooner than we thought. One thing that we got to take a look at here is that the first team offense looked really good. This first team offense looked like it's ready to go. It scored a lot of points. That back shoulder throw to Dante Thornton was beautiful, perfectly placed. It was nicely played by the corner, but Dante Thornton was just too big, too strong. He also had another catch for a big first down with Aidan O'Connell in the game there. And there he used his speed to get that big buffer from the corner. He ran him off, stop route, came back, and he was wide open. If you guys watch my tape on Dante Thornton, where I broke down some of his college tape, you'll see that he gets a lot of buffer room from these corners because he's just so big and so fast. All right, let's see who we got going in here right now. Raider Black, yeah, man, AOC broke his wrist. It's a bummer. You hate to have that happen, but unfortunately, it happens in the NFL. I want to thank Damon Dustin became a member of the Shield Society. Also, Bobby Gallardo, thank you very much, man, becoming a member of the Shield Society. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. That way we can go ahead and get these watch parties. I want these watch parties to be big, y'all. I want us to have a good time at these watch parties. Again, I'm not doing a play-by-play, but I am breaking down. I'm analyzing the plays and the game as it goes along. You also get the videos before anybody else does, as soon as I upload them, even if they're scheduled for a later date. And you also have the opportunity, because I'm going to create a chat group in Instagram to go ahead and be able to give you guys. Actually, you know what? If we're all together, I'm going to give you guys the link in the chat with the Shield Society. I'm going to send the link right in there. And if you guys want to go and hop on, go ahead and click, and I'll jump you on. If you want to join, if you want to ask a question, if you want to go ahead and make a comment, anything like that, I'll go ahead and do that for you guys but that's only for Shield Society members. That's my gift to you guys for go ahead and being a Shield Society member at $4.99 a month. $5 a month is nothing, man. Go ahead and get it done. You guys will do it. What do we think, guys? Question of the day right now. Question of the day is, what are the more competitive position groups? I think that the corners is still a little bit in flux. Who's our wide receiver 5? I know who our first 4 are, right? We got Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, we got Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Besh. Those are the 4. Who's our wide receivers past that? Who's really showed out? I think Shed Jackson showed out. Colin Johnson's looked good. Cam Miller had a nice deep throw, deep pass to Philip Dorsett. Let it get right through his hands, unfortunately. That was should have been a completed pass. But there's Philip Dorsett out there. There's a lot of guys out there. So who's going to be the guys? Is Tommy Malott? Is Tommy Malott get on there? Who knows? Jay Harris. Also, Jay Harris is a subscriber to the channel. Appreciate you as well, my dude. Do we pick up another backup quarterback? I don't know, man. I don't know if there's going to be anyone worth having. We'll see how things break down in Cleveland. If they let somebody go, they got like 19 quarterbacks over there. Kenny Pickett might be a guy that can get released over there because he just hasn't been healthy. So there's some potential guys that have some experience to maybe help and be just an arm. But if you want to learn from a guy, who's doing well now, but also learn that same way in a backup role, and that's Geno Smith. So Geno Smith's a good teacher for Cam Miller, I think, definitely. What do you guys think, man? These are some guys out there that you want to take a look at. I really do think we're going to make a move in the secondary. I think that Pete Carroll has been very impressed with Edmonds and his play. And so he sees that there's guys out there in the secondary that can be had, that can be better players for us than what we have right now. Asante Samuel, I don't know what's going on with his shoulder, man. Asante's still out there. He's a little bit smaller, I think, than what Pete Carroll likes. We'll see. He's a name. He's a guy that's been out there and that's been, Carter Bradley more than likely will be available. I don't know if they're going to keep 3. The one thing is if you get Carter Bradley, you can't make him an emergency core. He's got to be on your roster. If you take Carter Bradley off of a practice squad, he's got to be like boom, right back on your roster. So that's a possibility, but I'm not 100% that's going to work. I don't know that we're going to be able to put him on the roster. What else do we think, man? I like our starting offensive line. I think the offensive line is going to be set. Kappa didn't. I didn't really notice Kappa very much in there. I think that if we sprinkle a young guy in here and there, I think Thayer Mumford looked god awful. Thayer Mumford was the guy that let the guy pass. He was beat cleanly off the corner. He didn't look good. He's looked bad all preseason, as has Aidan O'Connell, and looked pretty bad. In about maybe 6 quarters of work total, Aidan O'Connell has 7 turnover-worthy plays. Yeah, he's got 4 turnovers. He got 3 picks and a fumble, and he's got 3 other near picks that were dropped basically by the defenders that should have been picks. So, yeah. Kappa didn't look. I mean, what I'm hearing here, I wasn't really focused on Kappa. I was focusing on other players. I guess he didn't look good. So Kappa could be a cut. Unfortunately, I was counting on him to be a bigger presence, not start, but be a backup. Offensive line looked good, though. I mean, Geno Smith still hasn't been touched. He had that nice play rolling out. But, yeah. on top of everything right now, I really do think that we're going to be okay offensively. I think we're going to be more than okay. I think with Geno Smith in there and the first team offense, I think we have it humming. I am very encouraged by the play of Zamir White. Zamir White and Raheem Mostert both had nice games. Zamir White showed a little bit more shiftiness. He made some guys miss at the point, and he was running hard. I really like that he got those 9 carries. Those touches are going to be big. He has gotten better, but he needs to get better than what he is now in pass protection. Sincere McCormick did not look very good. We have like Dylan Laube and stuff like that. I don't know, man. Dylan Laube, he special teams probably is going to be his thing. There's some guys that are going to be really big on the teetering point right now. I like Zamir today. If Zamir can run the way he's been running in preseason, in the regular season, I think he's going to be a really nice piece. He was moving the chains when he was in there. He got in there on third downs and got us a couple of first downs, so that's always good. Also, we take a look at Raheem Mostert had a nice couple of plays as well. They both had a long of 9 yards. I'm really interested to see what we do with the wide receiver position, offensively at least. Also, Carter Runyon. I think Carter Runyon is probably going to be our third tight end. I think he's looked really good. I liked Ian Thomas. I liked him quite a bit. He had a couple of catches today, but overall, he's had a few drops as well. I really do think that Carter Runyon made a big play for him. He's going to play a lot on special teams, so he can make a guy. He can maybe be like a fourth tight end. If you play a lot of 2 tight end sets, you need a lot of tight ends, because if some guy goes down, you need to have a guy going in there. You need to have some guys to be able to back up. So I think Carter Runyon played really well. I'm a very big fan of his. It's just a bummer about Aidan O'Connell. That was a bummer. One thing to look forward to, Dante Thornton Jr. People aren't really talking about it because he's going to be a guy that very quickly defenses will have to identify. Now, there are players out there who you can leave him wide open. It's like, whatever, man. We're just going to run up and tackle this guy. Even if you leave him wide open, he's not going to hurt us. There's guys that you need to know in a sense where, like, yeah, how are they lined up? There are individual players that you need to identify in your defense as far as how and where they're lined up. Maybe it doesn't really change a lot what you do, but you need to identify where they are. We have 2 guys on this offense, 2. Brock Bowers, and now I believe Dante Thornton. 2 guys that you must identify where they are, and they can change your defense depending on how they're lined up. It's a bold statement because he hasn't been extremely productive in the preseason, but I'm telling you guys, go watch the tape that I made on Dante Thornton when I broke down his college tape. If they didn't play him correctly on defense, he was wide open. If he's covered one-on-one, he beat the corner in front of him. It was no problem for him. Super Omnicron, thank you for making an appearance. Wow, Bam Knight, 5 carries, 60. Well, look, he had 1 carry that was 68 yards because Sam Webb took a god-awful angle and an Olay attempt at a tackle. That was absolutely god-awful. If you guys were on the watch party with me, I came down really hard on Sam Webb because of that. That was absolutely terrible on that long run. Sam Webb just goofed it on that. And if he gets cut before he even leaves the locker room, I wouldn't be surprised. That was absolutely terrible. So if you take 68 yards away from 83, that's 15 yards on 4 carries. Still, more than you would like, but still not crazy. Oh, yeah, Webb getting cut for sure. That was an awful angle. You saw it, Jay Harris, right? You saw how terrible that was? Look, offensively, when you have two players that can dictate how the defense plays you, that's a huge, huge advantage for you. When you see the advantages of putting Brock Bowers on the same side of the formation as Dante Thornton, and you run them opposite of one another, the defense has to pick and choose who they're going to double because you have a lot of attention going to one side of the ball. Conversely, if you put them on opposite ends, sure, you may be able to try to double both guys. That's a lot of attention for those two guys because you have Ashton Genty, you have Michael Mayer, you have potentially like a Besh or a Jacoby Myers or a Trey Tucker who can hurt you with the ball in their hands. This is something that I was very hopeful of when we drafted Dante Thornton Jr. because he's a guy that dictated defenses when he was out there. He didn't get a lot of catches because they just kind of ran him deep a lot. They didn't really do a lot of different things with him at Tennessee. But if he was single covered, he was open. Now, they didn't always throw him the ball. But when they did, and the defense didn't play him right, yeah, you need two guys on Dante Thornton. If you don't put two guys on Dante Thornton, that's going to be a tough night for the DB. Now, they had him single covered. The corner was a little bit aggressive, so they did the back shoulder throw. It was a nice play defensively. He was right there. Dante Thornton caught the pass. Nice work. Nice work by Dante Thornton. Nice work by Geno Smith. I'm not really concerned with the first string offense. The first string defense, the defensive line looked in mid-season form, busting through the line. We don't have, Lecky Fotu is a guy that's a space eater. That's like a run stuffer. He played today, and I think he played really well today. I think Lecky Fotu did a lot for himself and his place in this team. On top of that, Maxx Crosby, Tyree Wilson, he had a rough penalty, but he did get in there and make a couple of plays in the backfield. I think he may have found a home as a pass rushing specialist from the inside. I think he may have found a home there doing that. He's also pretty good against the run recently as well. Malcolm Kuntz went out there and had some nice plays. Again, for the second game in a row, we saw a starting defensive front of Maxx Crosby, Thomas Booker, Jonah Laulu, and Adam Butler as the opposite end. Those were the four starting down linemen for our defense for the second game in a row. What does that mean? Does that mean Adam Butler is going to be used more as a defensive end? It's possible. He's very similar in the cut of – actually, these next two players are more in the cut of Adam Butler and Tonka Hemingway and J.J. Pegues. J.J. Pegues had a nice game, y'all. J.J. Pegues had a nice game. He doesn't always going to show up in the stat sheet, but J.J. Pegues had a nice game. Who also had a nice game, had a couple of hiccups, but Cody Lindenberg had a nice game. He had 7 tackles, a sack, 2 tackles for loss. That's nice, man. Cody Lindenberg needed a big game, and he had a nice game for himself here. You have guys like Greedy Vance blitzing and getting a sack for himself. But J.J. Pegues, man, I really like J.J. Pegues and his effort today. He was around the ball. He didn't have a lot of stats. He only had 1 tackle that was credited to him, but he was always around the ball. He was eating a bunch of double teams, and he was really pushing that line back a lot. Super Omnicron, does it seem like Hendrickson is worth the risk due to the inconsistent secondary and linebackers? I'll tell you something right now. If we put Hendrickson on this line, it will help the linebackers. It will help the DBs. It's not going to hurt them to put a better pass rusher on this line. Should we do it? Should we not do it? I don't know. I don't think it's something that I think we should wait until the first couple of weeks of the season, because at that point, I think Cincinnati's price will drop significantly. But putting Hendrickson on this team is not going to make the defense worse. I'll tell you that right now. It'll make it better, because you're going to have two elite pass rushers here, plus a lot of guys that can pass rush up the middle, and they're going to put a lot of pressure on quarterbacks, and that in turn is going to make covering a lot easier, because they don't have to cover for that long, and they can play a little bit tighter because they know the ball's going to come out quick. A couple other things that I really liked about this game. I was very, very pleased with the play of Malcolm Kuntz. I think did pretty well today. He was a little bit absent through a lot of games, but I think he played really well. Tommy Eichenberg had a couple other goofy plays, man. I don't know what's going on with Tommy Eichenberg. I had my issues with Tommy Eichenberg because he was a guy that I had high hopes for him. We could have drafted, a quarterback with that pick instead of Tommy Eichenberg, but we didn't. And Eichenberg just hasn't been panning out very well for me, I think. I think his contributions on special teams can be done by other players. And as far as as defensively as a linebacker, it was pretty rough for me, man. Pretty rough for me. All right, guys. Again, just to wrap up, the bad guys lose, unfortunately, 20-10 to the Arizona Cardinals. We finished the preseason 0-2-1. That means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely zero. Our first team offense looks really good. Our first team defensive line looks really good. Our first team linebackers look good. I wouldn't say great, but they look good. I'm a little bit shaky on the secondary, and I told you guys that from the beginning, that the secondary, that's going to be new. The two groups that need to be on time are the offensive line. They need to have good continuity. And the secondary, it's imperative they have good continuity. This is a brand new secondary, guys. Give it a little bit of time. I think they're going to get better as the season moves along. All right. Also want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. It's an excellent way to support the channel. It's free to do. And we also have a pay option. If you want to be a part of the Shield Society, you're going to get the opportunity to watch the watch party with me. I'm going to send a link to the watch party members only here, like the jackets. Members only. Shield Society is $4.99 a month. It's very inexpensive. You get watch parties. You get to watch the game along with me. Also, you get my analysis in game. You get to ask questions. We get to talk. We get to talk about all this stuff. Also, I'll give you guys a link. If you guys want to hop on and ask questions and make your comments, I'm going to give you the opportunity to join the live show, the watch party live with me. Just keep it brief, okay? I don't want you guys to practice your 10-minute, stand-up comedy set with me here. Just hop on, say what you got to say. We'll answer it. We'll have a little back and forth, and then we'll move on and keep focused on the game. But that's what we have available for you guys today. Really appreciate you guys, man. I'm doing all this stuff. I'm trying to build a community. I'm trying to build a community with you guys. I said it from the very beginning. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going in Raider Nation today, because I'm about the community of Raider Nation. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to join the Shield Society and have a community of us sitting together, watching the game. It's like we're in the same room watching the game, just talking to one another. You can have it here on your phone as you're watching the game. Not going to bother you any. If you guys are out and about and still watching me on your phone, that'd be great, man. I really appreciate you guys doing that. A lot of you have joined just today. We're getting a nice little group together. I know it's going to grow throughout the season. Salvatore Bruno, let's see what you got going here. That's a nice question here. Henderson is elite pass rusher, but deficient in run stopper. Henderson equals to unique Ngakoue. No way to trade unless low trade pick. I think you mean Hendrickson, right? He is not a great run stopper. he does not equal unique Ngakoue. I think he's too unique Ngakoues. He's really good. As a pass rusher, Hendrickson is the leading. He's the sack king 2 years in a row. I don't know that we should give up a ton for him. That's why I say let's wait. Because Henderson's stubborn. He's not going to play under this contract. That's what he says. So let maybe week 2, week 3 come along and he's not playing. I think the Bengals will drop their price and we can maybe get him for a better deal then. All right, guys. That's going to be it for today. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. I really appreciate you guys watching. Go ahead, everyone. Please tell your friends, tell your haters, tell your mamas, tell everybody. Raiders versus the world is the greatest thing going on Raiders today. All right, guys. That's my time. Till next time, everybody. Peace.